Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining me here today, and thank you to the Ashbury TED Talk Committee for giving me this opportunity. Let me start with introducing myself. My name is Maryam Balaa, and I am a grade 6 student here at Ashbury. I also happen to have a twin brother who goes to this school. Here's a picture of Kamal and I. This picture was taken a few hours after we were born. Kamal is wearing the blue hat, and I'm wearing the yellow hat. We are only 32 seconds apart. We are raised by the same two loving parents. We live in the same house, we both play piano, we swim for the same swim club, and we both love the outdoors and anything to do with nature. Other than a few differences, like he likes soccer and I like running. And despite our family telling him over and over again that massive shawarma platters are not healthy, he keeps bringing us back to Shawarma Palace on Rio Street. I don't get it. I myself prefer to go to Freshie, where I can personalize my healthy salad and add as much lime as I want. So, as you can see, Kamal and I have a pretty similar routine, and so far, we've been given the same opportunities. Sadly, when Kamal and I graduate Ashbury, then university, then look for a job, he will most likely get paid 25% more than me for doing the same job, even though we have the same upbringing and education. Why is that? Well, this is because he's a boy and I'm a girl. In today's changing world, I want to bring awareness on the gender wage gap in Canada. What is it? Why is it this way? And how can we change our minds to come up with solutions to solve this problem for my future and yours? So, what is it? Well, most 11-year-olds, like myself, would have the impression that if anyone doing the same job at the same place for the same number of hours will get paid the same amount of money. Seems pretty fair and logical to me. Well, unfortunately, this is not the case. The term gender wage gap means the difference between how much money is earned by a man and woman in the workplace. Gender wage gap exists in every single country around the world. Women working in Canada earn on average 75 cents for every dollar earned by a man. And did you know that Canada is ranked as having the 8th highest gender wage gap out of a list of 43 countries? Let's take a closer look. As you can see from this graph, Korea is ranked as having the highest gender wage gap, and Romania as the lowest. And I was shocked to find out that Canada is ranked as having the 8th highest. So why does this problem exist, considering we're such a developed nation? Well, first, there's still a such thing as traditional women's work and traditional men's work. Some examples of traditional women's work are early childhood educator, nursing, or social worker. Some examples of traditional men's work are truck driver, brick mason, and electricians. Research suggests that when women make up a large percentage of a specific job, the wages for that job become lower. Let me give you an example. In Canada, 97% of truck drivers are men, and they earn on average $45,000 a year. On the other hand, 97% of early childhood educators are women, and they earn on average $25,000 a year. This is a huge gap, considering an early childhood educator needs at least a college degree, and if not more. And in some provinces, a truck driver only needs a valid driver license. The second reason why the gender wage gap exists is women are hired in low-paying jobs. In 2015, women working in Canada were mostly represented in 3 types of jobs: cashier, hostess, and daycare provider. All of these categories of jobs fall under the 20 lowest paying jobs in Canada. The third reason why the gender wage gap exists is women in minimum wage jobs. The term minimum wage means the lowest amount of money an employer can pay you by law to work for them. In Ontario, the minimum wage is $14 an hour. The problem is, the majority of people working for minimum wage jobs are women. And 1/3 of those women make under $15 an hour. Now, $15 an hour for us kids seems like a lot of money. But then I did the math, and unfortunately, $15 an hour is less than $30,000 a year. And unlike us kids, these women need to worry about mortgage, bills, car payment, buying food, and raising children. And this is assuming she works full-time. And that brings me to my next point. More women than men work part-time. These women have to work part-time because they can't find a daycare, or if they do, they can't afford a daycare. And most women still carry the responsibility of taking care of the house, which includes cooking, cleaning, and raising children. Okay, so now that we know the what and some of the why, how can we change our minds to come up with solutions to solve this problem? Here are some ideas that I came up with that can help narrow the gap. First, we need to eliminate barriers for women to get full-time jobs. All companies should provide free daycare for all kids of employers. If your child is sick, you should be able to work from home and still get paid for it. When possible, men and women should be able to work from home. I feel that when you have a happy environment at home and you feel like you can take care of your family, you do a better job at work. At least this is true for me at school. We also need to break down barriers for girls like me to enter a career in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This way, girls can get out of minimum wage jobs and enter high-paying jobs for the future. But girls are getting the message all over the internet and media that STEM is not for them. For example, I can walk into a Forever 21 store and see a t-shirt made for girls that says, "Allergic to algebra." I mean, I love math, and so do so many other girls out there. So I don't understand why they would be wanting to send a message like that on a t-shirt. I also did a survey for my social studies class on gender discrimination. One of the questions I asked to various age groups was, do you think boys are smarter in math than girls? All of the senior students and adults answered no, which is great. But some grade 4s and 5s answered yes. Girls need to get the message from home, school, and media that they can do and be anything they want. Look at women like Roberta Bondar, who was the first woman Canadian astronaut, or Jenny Trout, the first woman Canadian doctor, or Donna Strickland from Waterloo University, who recently won the Nobel Prize in Physics. We also need to eliminate such things as traditional women's work and traditional men's work. So if a truck driver is earning $45,000 a year, so should an early childhood educator. We need more women leaders. Right now, only 3 out of 100 CEOs in Canada are women, even though women are more educated than men. 53% of women have a university degree versus 47% of men. Companies and organizations need to make sure that the corporate ladder is the same for both men and women. Given the right opportunity and the right environment, women are and will continue to make a difference in this world. Studies have shown, lastly, the gender wage gap is not just a problem for us girls and women. It's a problem for all of us to tackle. And it starts with raising awareness. This is why I'm here today. Studies have shown that if things were to stay the same, it would take 217 years to close the gender wage gap. So going back to Kamal and I, he will continue to make more money than me, even though we have the same upbringing and education. However, I believe our world is changing, and we can change too by working together to end the gender wage gap sooner than later. Thank you, merci.